Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Closing Out the Week with the Closers Podcast. I am your host, as always, Marco Alvarado. Today with me, we have a reoccurring guest on the show, my best friend, Gavin Stine. Before we get to him, please follow us on Instagram at the Closers Podcast, on Facebook at Closers Podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yep, we have a YouTube channel. All of the podcast episodes are posted there with a cool little visual that you can also watch along with the audio. If you're into that kind of thing, we got it for you. So without any further ado, here is the guest. Gavin, how are you?
Aloha. I'm doing very well, sir. Just
it's good to hear.
Chilling like a villain and whatnot.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Mm-hmm. We have a pretty interesting topic to talk about.
Probably the most degrading and vile one we have, honestly.
Yeah, that is one. Those are some adjectives that definitely would describe this topic. And embarrassing. We're embarrassing ourselves
in a pretty major
by
way.
talking about these things. And what we are referencing with these descriptions is the various now defunct social media platforms that we frequented during our adolescence and like early high school years.
Yep.
In no particular order. There were a lot of different there were a lot of different websites, such as WeWorld, Club Penguin,
Oh God,
Imvu, Friend Life, Uvu. Just there's so many horrible, wretched, disgusting social media websites that now do not exist anymore. Most of them do not. I don't believe Uvu does. I don't believe most of them do.
Uvu was probably taken down by the FBI, dude. There's probably
Oh my God. Probably
investigation into that shit.
But for some reason, Gavin and I would go on a lot of these websites and just fuck around for fun, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, some of them it was like genuine like social life. Like, well, one of them, WeWorld became like a genuine like this is something that I do.
Really?
For me, yeah. WeWorld, I genuinely I like played WeWorld for about a solid like couple months.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, the other ones no. The other ones were literally like, dude, did you hear about this thing? Let's download it, and then we'd stay up to like 5 a.m. fucking around on it.
Dude, I played it. Okay, so I'm gonna talk briefly about how popular WeWorld was at our elementary school.
It was huge.
In like 6th grade, and then it carried throughout middle school, and I personally stopped playing like beginning of 8th grade, and I barely went on 7th grade anyways.
Yeah, I think I only played 6th grade through like beginning of 7th grade. I want to say.
Really?
Yeah, my passions for these kinds of things are always very fleeting.
I mean, what made WeWorld want you to come back though? Let's get into that a little bit.
For me, it was like this is going to be the most millennial fucking answer ever, and it's kind of degrading to me, but I liked the ability to, like I could express myself the way that I wanted to, that at the time I really couldn't in my own personal life, you know? Like, my little character was like a little emo guy, you know, and... Yeah. I got to, like, actually say what I thought and stuff on there. And then in my real life, I had to be, you know, leave it to Beaver, good boy
leave
all
it
the
to
time.
Beaver.
And then, you know, around beginning of 7th grade, maybe middle of 7th grade, when I stopped playing that game is when I started dressing that way in real life. I started kind of breaking out of it, and then eventually I stopped playing the game. But that, to me, it was that, and that there were all these people that you could just chat with that you didn't know and they didn't know you. Yeah. And, like, honestly, this is weird, but, like, there was something addicting about, like, you find someone in a room that you get along with in, like, a chat room, and then you follow your characters around, and then you're like, hey, let's go to this world. Then you go there, you know, and you, like, you spend an entire, like, maybe a couple days hanging out with this one person. And then
this, like, random person.
Yeah, then they sign off and you never fucking see him again. But it was always cool. Like, there was always something new going on.
Yeah, it was different. It was interesting because, like, you'd be able to meet new people all the time. But, God damn it. I hate the fact that we're talking about this shit.
I love it.
You do? Okay, well, if you love it so much, I will ask you this question. I was not about to, but now that you love it, I will ask you this question. Do you believe that through WeWorld specifically, you were able to express yourself sexually in ways that you never were able to in real life? Was it your first dive into that area of your life, in your sexuality? Were you able to explore that on there, Gavin?
My sexuality?
Were you able to do that? Yes.
I do not know of what you speak. My client will remain silent at this time.
Oh, what do you...
No, but in all reality, I wouldn't describe sexuality. I wouldn't say that, but, like, you know, it's flirting. You learn to flirt through text on there. Because you have to get damn good at it. You can't just say the same boring shit that everybody else says. It's a public chat room. You have to impress. You know?
Yeah.
Sure, is it a little depressing to think back on little chubby, lonely 6th grade Gavin hitting on what is probably a 40-year-old dude in Florida? Yeah, it is. But at the same time, it built me into the man I am today.
Sure.
You know?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, going back to, like, kind of what we were talking about before we started recording, I think this is sick and Freudian and disgusting. I think my love for South Park and the South Park video games dates back to WeWorld.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's hella weird.
Because, like, because the characters in that game and, like, the way they move around, how their legs don't move, like in South Park.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same, and, like, the character creation and, like, the you select the face and, like, the outfits and stuff.
It's all patterned.
It's very similar, yeah.
Yes.
And I think that might be part of the and because they're just funny games. But anyway, sidetrack, very major sidetrack. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a funny little psychological dive to look at these things to me, and, like, understand, like, to what amount did they actually affect us? You know?
Yeah. I will, since you wanted to dive into that, or not, you didn't want to, but I made you talk about that. I will talk about that as well. I had a very well-versed pattern on WeWorld that I've never talked about in my life.
This seems dangerous.
Not even to you.
I had a pattern, yes. Speaking of serial killers, we just recorded another podcast before this one where you referenced a serial killer, and now it's coming around full circle because I'm talking in patterns and shit. But so what I would do whenever I was bored, during the time I would go onto WeWorld, I would go in and I would start talking to a girl, well, a quote-unquote girl, someone whose avatar is a girl, and I would get them to be my girlfriend, and then I would never talk to them again. And I would do that every time. My goal was to get somebody to be my girlfriend every time.
And I never spoke to them again after that. It was like it was like I want to be able to just do that. I just want to have a fake online girlfriend randomly.
No,
get to know them and then just be like, all right, I'm going to bed, good night, and that's it. I did that so often, and it was hilarious, dude. Because I would just get bored, and I would just be like, okay, yeah, sure, let's do this thing again.
Yeah, that's for
yeah.
So to put this into context for people, it's not like a chat room. Like it's literally like South Park characters that you use your mouse to move or like your keyboard to move around, and you're like in a literal room that's like there's like themes. There's like an emo one. There's like a city one that looks like New York. Mm-hmm. There's like
and they came out with different ones over time.
Yeah, and there's like a bunch of them. So it's not like we're just on a chat room with it's like a stale avatar. It's like you're literally moving around. It's like a game. It's a game.
Yeah, exactly. It is a game. You're literally bouncing around these environments.
And you had a room that you could bring people back to.
Yeah, you did have a room.
You designed it yourself.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's funny though because people really would discriminate against the people that couldn't afford or didn't want to pay to make their characters have like the coolest clothes or anything like that. And you could always tell the people that used to be on, like, for instance, like if you would be on a lot in 2008 and then randomly for whatever reason like you stop going on, and then in 2014 you hop back in and you see the people who paid for their items back in 2008 now in 2014, they stuck out like sore thumbs, and it was the funniest shit because they would still have like the clothes that were popular then on.
They'd have like the sagged pants.
Yeah, the sagged pants with the fucking cocked back like hat and like with the bandana underneath with the braces smile and with like, oh my god, it was so bad. And it's just hilarious. It's just funny to see.
Yeah, and
that one specific social site.
Well, speaking of that one, do you remember? I think it was a couple years ago. You and I were we were reminiscing about that. And we logged back in and spent like a whole night just trolling people on there.
Oh yeah, I wasn't living in San Francisco at the time.
Yeah, we spent a whole night trolling people, and my account got suspended. So
did it?
Yeah, my account. Yeah, my account got suspended. That's why we didn't do it again.
Oh yeah,
because I was a little bit. I pushed the envelope a little bit too much. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Like I remember I got like an angry message from the moderator being like, "If you do this again, you cannot play this game anymore."
And you're like, okay.
I was like, yeah, all right.
You're like, guess what? Nobody already plays this game.
Yeah, remember we would like follow people around in the game and like,
dude, yeah. It was bad. Like we didn't care, but that's the thing. That's what makes it funny is you realize, guess what? It's just a game. Nobody knows me on here. Yeah. We all go by aliases.
Yeah.
I can make my character look however I want.
Yep.
And it really doesn't matter what I say. Like, okay, suspend my account. It's not like I give a shit anyways.
Dude.
It's just funny, dude.
Dude. Okay, sorry, folks. I'm going to sidetrack for a second here. I know where Bernice came from our D&D game.
Oh, wow.
It came from that night.
Did it?
Yes. I was following a dude around, and I kept doing the, hey, daddy, like typing it in.
Yeah.
That's where that came from.
Oh.
That's where that came. Yeah. That's so funny. Okay. Sorry, guys. I just I had a really weird connection.
Yeah. We used to have a D&D session, and there was this dwarven lady who Gavin created as an NPC named Bernice. And that's like her catchphrase. Hey, daddy. Like she talks like that.
Yeah, and she would follow. She followed one of my little brother's character around for like 1,000 miles.
Yeah,
but
she was in love with
a fellow dwarf.
A fellow dwarf.
So,
but anyways,
let's talk about Imvu.
Imvu?
Yes.
Oh God.
Let's
talk about that. We'll close the show with Uvu.
Okay.
Because Uvu, there's many stories with Uvu.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Drop my ring. Okay.
But yeah, I think Imvu is a very interesting one.
That one.
Would you like to talk about that one?
Okay. So, we don't have to get into as many details about Imvu because we only spent like a couple nights on that one. But if I were to look back on that one and describe it today, I would say it's a game that is a false flag set up by the FBI to like catch pedos. Like that's for sure what that game is, because it's like you're like in, you basically, it's like a fake, like it's for people who are antisocial to simulate going to like the club. Like there's like a fake club and like you're 3D characters and they're all Ken and Barbie doll like 3D video game characters.
Yeah.
And like you can like, it was like an adult simulator, and it was really weird, and like we probably shouldn't have been on at that age.
Yeah.
It was probably not a game we should have been playing, but
I agree.
We had the will and the way. We made it happen.
It was, it's definitely a place that kids our age should not have been in.
Learned a whole lot on there.
Yeah, a lot more than I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would be a totally different person if it wasn't for that specific.
Do you think we would have been like altar boy type people if we hadn't ever done that?
Definitely not.
No.
But I will share. I'm gonna share a story, Gavin, that I believe you've buried in the dark and deep recesses of your mind surrounding Imvu. I believe it's fine to share now, which is why I will share it.
Okay.
If not, I'll just edit it out.
Okay.
It's fine. I remember you and I were on Imvu. It was the only time that I ever went on was at your house.
Yep.
Because I remember you found Imvu before me. You showed me it.
Yeah, because I was looking for like a Wii World equivalent, but for like more like that wasn't Wii World.
Yeah.
I think these connect to each other, actually.
And I remember going to your house, and this was one of the first times you and I ever had a conversation about a girl. I'm going to use the term girl very loosely because we have no clue to this day who that person is. But she portrayed herself as a girl online. Yep. They portrayed themselves as a girl online.
Yep.
And I remember going into Gavin's room when I was like hanging out with him. I just got there. I got led into his house. I go into his room, and it's like dark. Okay, this is like at 3 p.m. and his room is just dark. And he's there, and I see him on his computer playing Imvu, and I'm like, "What's that?" He's like, "It's Imvu." I'm like, "Oh." He's like, "It's like Wii World, but like more realistic, dude. Like you should play it." So like, I watched him play it because I wasn't able to make my own account because I didn't have a laptop or anything. I might have tried to use one of their other laptops they had at the house, but it didn't work or something. And so I was watching Gavin play, and I saw all these messages he was sending to this one other character. And it was like, "Hey, baby. Hey, how are you? Are you happy? Are you okay?" And the fucking girl character is just like telling him about how like her life is shit. Yeah. She lives in like Mobile, Alabama, and she like her stepdad like beats her every day.
Yeah. It's horrible.
Or like it was horrible.
And I was like a fucking little kid, so like I was like, "I'm sorry. That makes me sad. That's horrible."
Yeah. It was ridiculous.
It was so
And then I remember like during their conversation, the tone just like shifted. Like she started just replying with like one word answers. And eventually like we had to go because for some reason I remember like my mom I forget if this was a different day or something, but I remember us being at like the grocery store with my mom. And we were in the car waiting for her to get back because she just wanted to run in to grab something. And I remember turning around because I was in the front seat. And I like turn around and ask you. I'm like, hey, so how's everything going with, like, I don't know, remember her name, like Blair. I think her name was like Blair or something.
I don't remember. I have no idea.
For some reason, I want to say it's a B name. Maybe just because I have Bernice on my mind. But anyways, and he's just like, I don't know. I feel like things are just different.
Oh my God.
I'm like, what?
Dude.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then you were just like, she's just not really talking to me anymore. I don't know what I did wrong. And at that point, I witnessed Gavin's first heartbreak. In that moment.
It was not a heartbreak.
Oh no, man. It was heartbreak. At the time,
relative
to the time, it was heartbreak.
Homeboys
obviously
been through some
you would
shit
feel
since then, but
obviously you would feel a million times more pain later on in your life at the hands of somebody who appears to be a female. But in that moment, that was the lowest point in your life. And maybe to this day it still is. I don't know.
I never got over that. It still affects me every day.
So that's Invu. I don't have any stories from Invu about myself.
The
only thing I can remember is when me and Garrett a couple summers ago went in, pretty recently, and we just went in there and just messed around the whole time. Like, we were just trolling people.
And it was really creepy. People are fucking weirdos.
Yeah, it was a creepy time, dude. People do weird shit.
It's a dark place. Invu is a dark place.
Speaking of, a couple summers ago, perusing these different sites and going back down memory lane, there was one that we didn't really use during our, like, adolescence, but your brother did. And he showed it to us, and we were on there for a couple nights before, like, it literally, like, got wiped off the internet. And this is called Friend Life.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Friend Life. Friend Life was a weird mix.
That was a weird freaking...
Friend Life was a weird mix of, like you had, it was like Uvu, which is a website where you just, like, can talk to, it's like Skype, but, like, it's like LimeWire plus Skype. That's it. That's Uvu. So you take LimeWire, Skype, Facebook, and YouNow, and you mix that all together and you get Friend Life.
Yeah.
And Tinder. You throw Tinder in there too, because you were able to make your own account and start swiping on people if you wanted to talk to them or not.
Oh, dude, we have some good screenshots from that shit.
But unlike Tinder, the person didn't have to swipe you back in order to start talking. You could, once you swipe right, you could start talking to them instantly, but they obviously don't have to respond.
Yeah.
You also become friends with people on that website, which allows you to follow when they go live. So they're able to like talk into the camera, like they do on YouNow or various other adult websites. This wasn't an adult website, but that does happen on adult websites as well. So it's a very versatile place. And me, Gavin, and Garrett, the Gare Bear, went on a couple summers ago for a night. And it was the most interesting experience because we were just, like, in their grandparents' office, just, like, messing with the people that would jump in and, like, start text chatting us while we were on video. And it was just so weird. I don't know. Like, it was fun. It was actually probably out of all of these defunct social media sites, this was the most fun I had on one.
It's the only one that I miss, that I actively am like, man, that'd be cool to go back to.
Yeah,
because it was a cool concept.
It was a good concept, and honestly, it's just because people were really creepy on there. It became a thing where, from what I read, it got shut down because first they were ordered to remove the feature of being able to show your video, like show video of yourself on the website on Friend Life.
Because people were using it to show boobies.
Yeah, show boobies and all that shit. So after that, a large portion of the website's base
all the
left.
Freaks and weirdos.
Yeah, they all left.
Yep.
Which left like literally only like 30 people.
Yeah.
And at that point, they couldn't have enough money from ad revenue, and they just had to shut down.
It's so funny, man. Like we literally hopped in. This happened like almost literally a week after we did it.
Yeah.
Like we got on, and we were like, I remember we had a good. It was like a proto podcast experience almost, because we were like entertaining the people.
Yeah, we were entertaining the people. We were like
around,
doing games.
We got
and stuff
Garrett doing goofy stuff, and like we'd ask people. Like we ended up like yeah, and we were like, man, let's do that again. And then like a week later, it was like, Friend Life destroyed. And we're like, oh, okay, that was nice.
And I remember we literally.
And Garrett was like popular.
Yeah, he was like popular.
He had like a couple thousand people that would watch it. Watch him and just do nothing. I don't know what he did.
I don't want to know. But
oh god,
I remember
he's showing boobies.
Yeah, he was showing boobies. Yeah, but no, I just remember on like we were all taking turns too. Like two of us would get tired from like leading the whole discussion, and then like so one of us would just be on there just like talking to everybody, and then like we would all rotate. We'd do stuff, and I remember we like talked to people from all around the world too. It wasn't just the United States. Like
Bex.
I remember there was a girl from like Bex.
Yeah, from she's from London.
Oh, you mean Kaz?
Oh, Kaz, yeah.
Yeah, Kaz. Yeah. It's funny, I still follow her on like Instagram and everything.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
to
fun.
this day.
That's
weird.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was actually a pretty good experience. I mean, there was weird people, and you could laugh at a lot of people. There was a lot of awkwardness on that website, but it was still fun.
It was the awkwardness was delicious. It satiated everything that I needed. I love that kind of stuff. It's so funny to me.
Oh my god. So, I think that's all for Friend Life, because that was actually not that bad.
Yeah.
I feel like there was one more I said before Uvu.
Uvu. WeWorld. Friend Life. You said Club Penguin.
Club Penguin. Okay, now this is the most famous out of all of the ones that we're going to discuss.
And the least.
I don't believe Gavin went on a whole lot.
I never went on.
You never went on Club Penguin?
I made a profile and then I never signed back in.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll gloss over this one, because Club Penguin now is obviously the most famous out of all the ones we're talking about, but it was also, I believe, the longest running one.
Isn't it still going around?
It just the official Club Penguin website was shut down last year.
Oh, sad.
But there's now a fan made one that is online right now.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's more adult, and like you can do literally whatever you want in it. So it's pretty interesting. But all I got to say about Club Penguin is that I feel like Club Penguin is the most closely related to WeWorld, where there are environments where you can interact with those environments and do stuff. But I will say that people got pretty crazy in there when it came to like boyfriend and girlfriend relationship stuff.
Really?
Dude, it was crazy. Like I didn't go on a whole lot, but from what I've saw and what I've heard, dude, people would go wild. Like that's all it was. It became like a website where you would literally go in and people would just be like, "Do you want to be my boyfriend? Do you want to be my girlfriend?" Like it would just became that, like all the time, like constantly.
That's kind of sad.
It was just drama rotating. You're just like, you're talking to a girl, quote unquote, and you're like, yeah, you're my girlfriend now. Oh, okay. You're talking, and literally like mid conversation, they'll just walk away, and they'll start talking to somebody else, and you walk up, you're like, why'd you leave? Because I'm not your girlfriend anymore. Oh, but I thought, yeah, no, I'm with him now. Oh, okay. And all I gotta say is that really strengthened me for life. That readied me for life. Because I've never been on a social website that has reflected life.
Oh my god!
In such a profound and honest
you.
And authentic way.
Oh my god! That's
truly
amazing.
Truly, obviously, I only have one perspective, but for girls, I believe it does the same, and for everybody in between that, I believe it did the same. So rest in peace, Club Penguin. Thank you for giving me a glimpse of what it's like to be a 20-something.
Maybe that's why. See, I never was on there. I was never hardened.
Yeah, you were never hardened.
I remained a soft, plushy doll. Because if anyone knows me, I'm the king of sensitivity and plush. Well.
God. Okay. Now that I got that out of my system, it is time for you, Gavin, to discuss Uvu.
Yeah.
No, we used Uvu for, like, there was a chat, like, you were able to, like, hop, it was like chat roulette, but it was like Uvu, and you were able to, like, jump into, like, you start via text, so it was like Omegle, but then, like, you could have the option to turn on your camera, and then you were able to, like, see the other person and talk, like, verbally.
We did this with random people?
Yeah, but we would never turn on the camera.
What? I don't remember this at all.
You don't?
No.
Yeah, but we only, like, talked to friends that one time.
Okay.
That you're referencing. Yeah.
So we did only do it once.
Well, talk with friends. But you go on Omegle, we did a couple times, but, like, we just messed with people.
Oh, I don't remember. I really don't remember any of it. I just remember that one night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you want me to talk about it, I'll talk about it.
Yeah, start the tale of misery and woe. And then
okay.
and then I'll probably remember as you go.
Okay. So Uvu was a website like we just described. It's like if you took Skype and LimeWire, the shittiness of LimeWire, the bugginess, and the virus infestedness of LimeWire.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Uvu did destroy my first laptop.
Yeah. And you put that into Skype. That's what you get. Oh, and then you also throw in Omegle. So you start, like I said, you can have friends on Omegle. You could talk about... Can you hear that?
What?
Oh, you can't hear that?
No.
Okay. So you could talk to people and make friends and, like, add people by usernames. Or you could just jump into the random chats. And in the random chats, you're just talking to people, but you both have to agree to turn on your cameras at the same time. You can't just jump in and, like, one person just turns on their camera, the other person doesn't. So what me and Gavin would do, he can't remember, which I understand, it was a long time ago. We would go in and just talk to people and just troll people for hours on Omegle and on Uvu. Now, there was one time, and I will give the most politically correct version of this story I can, just because we have already divulged many things about Gavin and I that we never wanted to see the light of day, and I feel like most people will not hear this.
Which is good.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
But who knows? And if they do, look, like, it doesn't matter. We all were there.
We were
and
like, we were like 12, so.
Exactly. We were 12, and if you really want to say and give a shit for it, you probably have done something, or you did things on WeWorld, on these same exact websites back when you were younger too. So just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Without any more hesitation, there was one time that Gavin, Travis, and I were on Uvu with a couple of friends of ours.
Oh, God. Yep. This is the one that I remember.
And what transpired was a night in which where one of Gavin's ex-girlfriends became Travis's new girlfriend.
This is like 2 weeks after we break up.
Yeah.
This is like fresh wounds still.
And that ex-girlfriend's best friend became Gavin's girlfriend. For a very, very quick stint. Now, there are conflicting reports on this, depending on who you talk to, but I'm telling you that Gavin's ex-girlfriend could have become my girlfriend that night. And I gracefully bowed out because I wanted to go the fuck to sleep.
She could have been, but
Yeah.
you were a means to an end. The end being
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Travis was the ultimate goal. I found this out shortly after her and I broke up. Because we were like friends for a minute after that. She like straight up told me the whole like, yeah, this like, I want to be with Travis. I like him. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, part of my machinations were like, well, Travis is a good enough dude, and she likes Travis, so why not?
Yeah.
Why not instigate?
And the reason why Uvu fits into the story is because literally the only way we all could communicate, because we were all texting each other and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only way all three of us, because me, Gavin, and Travis were at Gavin's house.
Mm-hmm.
The ex-girlfriend was at her house.
With
and
her
the
friend.
ex-girlfriend's best friend was at hers.
Mm-hmm.
The only way we, three individual parties, could interact in one conversation is through Uvu. That's the only, at the time, that was the only service
Mm-hmm.
that allowed for multi-chat.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why so many people used it, because you were able to talk to more than one person at a time.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Uvu was a little innovative.
Yeah.
And a little ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Even though they were very bug infested and shitty. But it was I mean, the interface itself ahead of its time. Now the story ends with a month within a month all relationships are broken and there's no there really were. Everybody realized, okay, we were up till almost 6 a.m. and we were very, very tired and we made very poor decisions. Basically, everybody stayed up long enough to be considered, if you were driving and got pulled over, they would have all been considered drunk. They were probably at that point of tiredness, and which is why everyone made very poor decisions that night.
Yeah.
But yeah, Uvu, very interesting place. I remember one time we were in there and we talked to some dude who was like going through a breakup and he was all sad and he was like messaging us like, I don't know if I can do it anymore. I can't. I miss it so much. Man. And I just remember both me and Gavin were like, I feel so bad for him.
I remember this. We had a whole conversation.
Yeah, I just, man, like, look, dude, like, I don't even know him, but, like, we gotta be there, man. We gotta be there to support him.
We were like, it's okay, dude. She doesn't understand you anyway.
Yeah, she's a fool. Like, it's her loss, man. It's her loss. And he's like, bro, you guys are the best. Thank you so much. Thank you. And then we like finished the conversation and
we never spoke.
We're like,
to him
yeah,
again.
yeah. We never talked to him again.
That was
But
another.
we were
one
like,
of those-
yeah, you know, like we're so righteous, man. We're so good.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of myself, and that was one of those other ones where we like made plans to like, ooh, check up on that guy in a week, and it never happened.
Yeah, we never talked
We
to him.
never spoke to him again.
Ugh.
I remember that now. Yeah.
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 That was a good time.
Gosh.
Good times on Ubu.
Gosh, our
So-
online exploits, man.
Yeah. I mean, there's many other defunct ones, but those are the main ones that we went on
Yeah.
when we were younger.
I
boy.
tried RuneScape for a minute, but I just couldn't.
RuneScape.
It was garbage. RuneScape was garbage. I'm sorry, guys. I Why?
Would
Just
you
go
consider-
buy a real video game.
Would you consider RuneScape even within the same breath as WeWorld? I feel like they're just so different.
I mean,
But I don't know.
I don't know. I think there are arguments to be made on both sides. I think WeWorld is more like RuneScape than RuneScape is like WeWorld, if that makes any sense. Like
Yeah.
there is some overlap in why people poured countless hours of their lives into it. There's just a little bit more to chew on with RuneScape.
Right.
I just thought it was a lame game, and if you want to do a role-playing game, play a better game. I'm sorry. Play WoW.
That's fair.
Pay for WoW. Just play WoW. Do something that will mean something. You know, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
RuneScape.
No.
There's a reason it fell out of relevancy.
No, I feel it.
You know.
We all have our opinions. But now you know a little bit more about us as people and what we've been through and what
By
it
our
is
own
like.
design.
Yeah. What it is like, or what it was like growing up and being a preteen and, an adolescent during the years of 2008, between 2008 to 2012.
It's a weird time.
Very crazy,
It was-
wild times.
It was a weird, evolutionary step from from the internet of the early 2000s and the 90s into what we have now.
Yeah.
Those 4 years were like the stepping into it. Because,
yeah.
Around 2010, 2011, that's when you get the Twitters and stuff. And
Mhm.
that's when shit like Tumblr begins to gain traction.
Yeah.
And then that becomes the new, hive of
Yeah.
scum and villainy that WeWorld and all those used to be,
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Just better user interfaces overtook those kind of more niche, WeWorlds and
Yeah.
Club Penguins and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I mean, if those could come back in a major way with the advent of VR, I would be a happy camper. Because
that'd be interesting.
as long as they remain anonymous, because I love trolling people on those. Those are hilarious. So funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a pretty interesting. I would love to see that in action.
Yeah.
That'd be really funny.
Be able to actually go around a 3D space. That's rad.
Yeah, no, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
It's just I will pose this question to you, Gavin,
Mm-hmm.
and then after I believe we ran out of time. With knowing how you and I experienced the internet and all its glory during those years,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how kids that are now 12 to 14, how they're experiencing the internet today. What websites that we don't even know about are they, getting into and experiencing? I don't even know. Do you know of any current under not to use the term dark web as
Yeah.
not dark web, but
The tween dark web.
yeah,
I guess I would say on the tween dark web, I can't I can't think of any. I mean, I'm trying to think of like what Kayla has talked to me about, because Kayla's kind of in that range. She's gonna be I think she's gonna be 13 in a couple weeks here.
Oh no!
I know, we're old, dude. We are old. Because I just turned 22. Yeah, so she's gonna be 13.
Oh
and
my god!
I'm like a geezer. I feel like a geezer. I held her as an infant while I was at the age of reason. It's creepy. But anyway.
That's weird.
I feel like she's pretty much on all the same social media stuff that we're on.
Wow.
And maybe there's like apps and stuff that she goes on that we don't know about. I think apps is probably where that's at mostly.
Yeah.
Like the little evil mini games that get you to buy shit. And,
yeah, that makes sense.
Like, I don't know. I think that's, or like Snapchat. I know that she uses Snapchat a shit ton, but that's not the same. That's not like that chat room environment that we had.
Yeah, because everybody knows you in all those platforms. Yeah. You know,
maybe
like people can still trace everything back to you, whereas on the other ones it's all anonymous.
Yeah. Maybe next time I'm up there, I'm gonna do a little bit of recon, see if I can get some insider information on this.
That'd be interesting to know. I don't know. I also think about like texting apps that were used back then, like Kik. Remember Kik? You never used Kik? Kik?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kik was like just a basic texting app where you create a username and you're able to just text anybody that has another username on, has an account.
Oh, that's cool.
A lot of people were able to a lot of people use that as the next step when you wanted to get to know somebody a little bit more personally. Like it went from like for instance, you meet somebody on fucking Imvu, and then you like really like somebody or whatever, and you ask for their Kik, right? They give it to you. You guys like start talking on Kik, and then from there, then you get their like whatever other information you want. Well, Kik just recently like died. Like it just got decommissioned, if you will. Last week, actually, last Sunday, it just shut down. So
that's crazy.
I don't know. A lot of these staple apps and websites from our youth are now
going the way
with
of
the wind.
Dinosaur.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's pretty crazy.
It makes sense. Nothing lasts forever. Believe it or not, there will be a day that Twitter dies, and that'll be a beautiful day. But it's still yet to come.
It's not any
Facebook will find its reckoning eventually. Although I don't know, Facebook's going strong.
Yeah.
It's from that same time period as all those other ones, and it's still around.
Yeah, because it was able to adapt, but its base is definitely different from all that now. Yeah, like 35 and over is definitely their base. All the younger people are on like Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat. Yeah. So
well, Instagram is owned by Facebook,
and
so
God forbid TikTok.
Oh, TikTok! Oh God.
We don't have to get into TikTok.
I don't want to get into TikTok.
It's just interesting how this topic can easily get into a discussion on greater just social media.
I'd love to have that at some point. That's something that I mean, as you know, I could rant about that for hours. It's something I'm kind of obsessed with.
Yeah,
it's
very interesting.
Dynamic of social media and how it's basically the savior and single-handed destroyer of society. That's my crackpot theories.
Well, we'll definitely have you on again to disclose those theories for everybody. Hopefully, maybe November time. But for now, we have to go. We've already ran a little long, and we will talk to you guys next time. On Monday, we have none other than JP the Kid. He is going to be talking about his mixtape called The Kid Tape. It was a really great conversation. Hope you all tune in. Catch it on Monday at noon. Hope to have you guys listen to that as well. Have a great rest of your day, night, whatever time it is now, and take care.
Yeah.